Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. I'm Courtney.
I'm Jenna.
And today we've shared a lot over the last few weeks, actually the last few months, with product innovations and products from Stahls. And so we want to make sure this time of year is kind of the perfect time of year to really take a look at your product availability, what you have offered to your customers, and look for new products. And so we want to make sure you haven't missed anything we've recently talked about or launched in the last 2 months, because 2018 is going to be an exciting time for Stahls. A lot of new products are coming down the pipeline, so we want to make sure you're up to date on what's there now so you can make sure to update yourself again in the new year. So today we're going to share a lot of that, but before we do that, we want to talk about this look of the week because we absolutely loved it. I think it really jumped off our Stahls Facebook page when we saw it this week.
Yeah, I think Holly did a great job with this, especially with how intricate this design is and all of the different materials she included in this application. So we can see a lot of intricate design, the intricateness in this design, and probably the amount of time it took to weed it didn't really take that much because there's not too much detail, but there's enough to really make it stand out. And I like that she incorporated 3 different styles of heat transfer vinyl with this to really bring the look to life.
Yeah, it's crazy for one that this is actually heat transfer vinyl.
Right.
But one really cool thing she did, we see a lot of mixed media with glitter and fashion film, but she actually used Thermofilm for the gold color in this. And Thermofilm is a product we talk a lot about on the morning show. It's our #1 product for team jerseys, but when you add it to a t-shirt like this, it has a semi-gloss finish, so it adds a little bit different finish that really just adds a little different element to the design. So rather than thinking, oh, I have to use Thermofilm for my team uniforms, you can use them in this way for a special effect, and it just is really, really cool in that way.
Yeah, sometimes you don't think about, whenever you're using a heat transfer vinyl for one thing so often, how you can utilize it in other products and finishes for looks like that.
Yeah, so it's definitely unique. As always, you can share your looks with us, and we'll feature them here on the morning show by emailing us at tv@stahls.com, joining the Stahls All Things Heat Printing Show and Tell on our Facebook page, or tagging us on Instagram at Stahls TV. So we always love to see what you guys create. That was definitely one of the it was hard to pick this week. There were so many things coming in on Instagram and on our Facebook page that we really were excited to see a lot of the inspiration there. So also take a look at that on the Facebook page to see some of the other cool things that were created on Saturday. All right, so the #1 product that we want to show you, we recently showed on, or what we want to start with, I guess, is going to be a new pattern product. So we're going to do that here in a live demo today, and it's going to be our SparkleBerry Ink patterns.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for this because SparkleBerry Ink has been the biggest thing that people have been talking about lately. So it just incorporates a lot of fun, unique colors, and we had Mandy in here just a couple weeks ago talking about just how popular it has been in the heat printing industry. So being able to incorporate it into your designs is going to be huge for a lot of apparel decorators.
Yeah, because you want something different, and one of the things that the SparkleBerry Ink patterns that we're going to talk through today, what that brings you is they're bright, they're colorful, they're original, and that's really that's why when we saw these, we got together with Mandy and we thought we want to offer these, we want to be able to deliver these to our customers on larger rolls because it's unique. It's something that really, when you look at how you want to take designs to a new level, if you're in any kind of female-based market, whether it's spirit wear, custom t-shirts, children's apparel, the list goes on and on and on, right. Events, causes, I mean, there's so many ways to use this product. And so let's go ahead and do a demo of the first one. And I'm going to pair it with a few of our other heat transfer materials because we have a variety of options available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line up my designs here. So I've got a lot of glitter flake to patch in.
And I think pairing it with other heat transfer vinyl really brings the pattern to life too, because it has a lot of colors involved in it, and just being able to use that to really get your design together, I think really brings it to life.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start by inlaying my glitter flake color. So one thing to take a look at is we did have that kind of ganged up together, so a few of those pieces did come off of the sheet. So if you're going to be doing mixed media, you want to be careful when you're lining those things up because we haven't masked the patterns yet. We want to be able to show you guys just how the pattern product works. So what I'm going to do is while Jenna's getting ready to mask that, I'm going to go ahead and load my shirt on by threading it, preheat as usual. And this is just a shirt from Cavio, so again, has some cool texture to it, a little bit of finish. Also allows me to check my pressure during this preheat. So we preheat a lot on the morning show, usually just about 3 to 5 seconds. Helps to get that moisture out of the garment. I highly recommend it. I am going to start by tacking my glitter flake down on the shirt. So it's going to be a multicolored glitter flake finish. So while Jenna is masking that, we'll go ahead and tack this down, making sure it's completely straight and lined up. One other thing we did recently launch I wanted to mention is we launched some new colors of glitter flakes, so make sure you're up to date on those as well. We just recently added a rose gold, a mint green, a neon color, a neon coral, as well as a few other shades, so you want to make sure to check those out and incorporate them since they're really some trendy colors. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this glitter flake down for just about 3 to 5 seconds. With multicolor, just like we saw in that look of the week, you can tack glitter flake down and then be able to inlay your additional colors, and that will help to reduce shrinking. So when you had that really tight design like we did in look of the week, you can see how that would easily be able to be done. So next I'm going to be inlaying the extra glitter flake pieces with the CAD Cut patterns transfer, and so Jenna's just finishing up masking that there, and we'll go ahead and inlay that in our design. Alright, so we have our mask design here. I'm going to go ahead and inlay this just simply because it's the next big part of the design, so I want to make sure to include that as part of this. Alright, so we'll inlay this in place. I always do the 2 biggest parts anytime I'm doing a big mixed media print like this, just because that way I'm able to make sure that I can get everything spaced the way it needed to be. So that's why I went ahead with the glitter flake first for that one big part of the design. Again, tacking this so I can tack the SparkleBerry patterns for 3 to 5 seconds and release my carrier. So again, just another tack. I do this a lot until I get to the complete layer that I want to finish with. I'm going to have to use a cover sheet for the next couple applications since they'll be exposed to the heater. I may need Jenna to help me out with this one since she created the design. There we go.
Yep, so this will just inlay right there. So what's nice about this graphic that was downloaded from Love SVG, which she offers a ton of different SVG files that are free to download. So just get on there and really look at all of the different things that she does, because she does them seasonally and she offers them in a variety of different ways. So what's nice about that is she does the clip art so that you can pair things up differently and be able to utilize different heat transfer vinyls a lot.
Okay, so for the last application, you'll notice that because we have so many different layers of glitter flake on here creating this mixed media print, some of these carriers are going to cut through the design. So what I want to do is to help to eliminate some carrier marks, I'm again just going to tack these for 3 to 5 seconds, just like I've done for my first few layers. Peel back the glitter flake.
Right, and while you're doing that, I'm seeing a question from Nikki come in. So that again is Love SVG, so that's LOVESVG.com, and that's where we got this SVG file so that we could bring this into our CADWorks Live free online artwork program and send it straight to our vinyl cutter to cut. So she offers all of those in a variety of different formats so that you can access these to be able to cut all of your different heat transfer vinyls out of it.
All right, then I just press this down for the final application of 15 seconds just to make sure everything gets the full application that's needed, because the highest amount of time is the SparkleBerry patterns. They need 15 seconds versus the other ones that need 10. That way I get a nice completed garment. I don't have to worry about any issues with the carrier marks, and then we have a nice completed design. So this is just one way to inlay and mix SparkleBerry ink patterns with other heat transfer materials. Jenna, let's head over to the table and talk about some different options, because one of the cool things about these patterns that we just recently added to Stahls.com is there's hundreds available. I mean, there's I think somewhere over 300 patterns that we just added, and so there's so many markets and so many different design types available. And so I'm going to go ahead and head over to the website to show you guys this. So if you're looking to get SparkleBerry patterns, just remember it's under the CAD Cut section since you're going to cut them on your vinyl cutter. Click the patterns and it's going to open up the page that you see here in front of me. And so we recently launched CAD Cut patterns, I'd say about 6 months ago.
Yeah, just about.
And so we added some of our own patterns in there, so they are under our Stahls Creative Studios, and we're constantly adding patterns in there. And then you can see where we launched the SparkleBerry designs as well. There's a little bit about Mandy, so you can understand behind her brand. And then you can start to see all the categories. So whenever we launched this, Jenna, I think we took a look at this and we were immediately like, wow.
Where do we start?
Yeah, where do I start? There's so many categories, so many opportunities. So you have animal prints, animals, awareness, fabric design, so things like plaid. The buffalo plaid is really popular right now for a print. Some other things to think about is some of the floral prints, food and design, tropical. So I'll just take a look at some of these. Watercolor are some of the ones that I really like, just for some different unique prints. So here you can see like the Lover's Rain,
which I think has been pretty popular. Whenever Mandy was in, she was saying how this was one of her top sellers.
Yeah, so you have Lover's Rain here, we have brush tails, unicorn trail, so you'll see how the colors change. If I go into this Lover's Rain and click select colors, a lot of these actually have different colorways, so this would be considered night, and this one is the day option, so it's a brighter. So depending on the garment that you're putting it on, it really changes the look of the image so you can get exactly what you're looking for. And it does this in a lot of different options. Another one I'd mention is really popular right now is that buffalo plaid. So if I go into fabric designs, and this is where there's some paisleys and some gingham patterns and some different options there. There's a Christmas plaid that we just pressed earlier today. If I click buffalo plaid and select my colors, you'll see a few different colorways there. So if you're looking for that red Christmas buffalo plaid that is pretty much on everything.
Yeah, this is like the traditional Christmas holiday pattern right now, because I'm literally seeing it in all the retail stores. Obviously, I'm going out and looking for different items to decorate with, and I'm just seeing this pattern everywhere.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options available with some of these things from Mandy and from SparkleBerry. Now, there's a few things I think to consider when you're choosing patterns and you're thinking about how to use this, because these patterns are very busy. They have a lot of things going on, and that's really the highlight of them. They're bright, they're original, but when you're creating your artwork for them, you want things that are going to be bold and that are really going to highlight the pattern. So a big bold clip art image like this, maybe big bold text. You don't want a lot of fine detail, a lot of script text and things like that, because when you get a very busy pattern, and I think this one's a perfect example because it's the pineapple one that actually has some pineapples and some tropical elements on the inside. But if you go very, very fine detail, then you lose the beauty of the pattern. So you don't want to do that. You really want to highlight it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think another way to really make it pop off the garment is the garment color that you're choosing also. Because I mean, whenever we're thinking of patterns, we're thinking about all of those different colors that are incorporated, and sometimes you want to go with a garment that has it in it, as opposed to something that would make it stand out more. So being able to pair it on darker colored fabrics, or if you know it has a lot of like neon colors or pastel colors that are really bright and vibrant, pairing it with a white garment. So just being able to take all that into consideration will really give that finish the really pop off the garment feel that we're looking for whenever we're using patterns.
Yeah, so it's a really cool product. I definitely think if you're selling anywhere into that female market, you should take a look at what's available, especially now even with the holidays. So if you're even looking for things just for family designs for the holidays, a lot of good opportunity there. Now, let's take a look at some other heat transfer vinyl products we recently launched.
Right, and I think silicone is the next one in line that's going to be really big for a lot of apparel decorators now, because it is so retail inspired. It originally was incorporated in like the sports market for being able to put it on those dye sub garments so that that pattern isn't showing or bleeding through. So silicone has that technology or that feature in it that allows us to be able to print on dye sub fabrics without it bleeding through.
Yeah, it actually allows for the ink to kind of pass through the silicone so that you get a clear and a very opaque print.
Right.
And so I would say probably about 2 or 3 years ago at trade shows, a lot of people started coming to the booth and they would ask me, like, I have to have this print. I don't know what it is, but it's on the Nike, it's on the Under Armour. And so it's still a very highly sought after print for well, for one, it'll be really popular for being able to help with dye migration on these fabrics.
Right.
So if you want to dive into some of these digi camo or some of these hex camo garments, it's really optimal for that, for numbering and for team logos. But I really see a huge opportunity for logos for corporate apparel, for just a new upgraded option for, even if it's just single color, taking a logo. A lot of companies will have a simple version of their logo, and it usually is a white or a black or blue or something like that.
Just a regular, like, matte, smooth finish.
Yeah, and so you can just take that and really make a simple logo on apparel. I really like it for that option.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with silicone, it actually has a rubberized texture to it. So whenever you're filling it on the garment, it has a little bit of a raised effect to it, and it has that rubberized finish that's very popular in the marketplace, because Nike and Under Armour are using it, and whatever you're seeing from the big dogs in the printing industry are what your customers are going to be wanting on their stuff too.
Yeah, so this product, again, is silicone, available from Stahls. It can be cut on your vinyl cutter, so it's under that same CAD Cut section on the website. And then another product we actually recently launched for vinyl cutting is Reflective 2. Right. And it was something that I don't think we mentioned it in last week's episode. So if you joined us last week, Jenna and I talked a lot about workwear and using reflective on those garments, and we shared about the 3M ANSI certified reflective because it's really needed for that marketplace. But this one really meets that, I guess, that area where if you want something that's going to be reflective, because it's incredibly popular from a design standpoint, from a finish standpoint, in fitness apparel and custom clothing apparel.
Yeah, because it has that high visibility to it. So whenever the lights hit it, it just really pops off that garment. So we're seeing it a lot more incorporated into custom printing, whether it's for that athleisure apparel that's very popular, whether it's for corporate, or any other businesses that require reflective but don't require the ANSI certification. So it's very similar to 3M reflective. It has that tacky backing so that we can weed very easily and still have that high visibility reflective material without the price tag of the 3M. So the biggest difference between the 3M and the Reflective 2 is that it's not going to have that ANSI certification. So anytime you're still decorating for municipalities, you definitely want to stick more towards the 3M reflective.
Yeah, so I think this garment's like a perfect testament of what we're seeing in the I guess the fitness, running, cycling, even corporate apparel market, where they're just wanting that reflective, that metallic, really just high-end finish. But like we had said, the price tag of a lot of reflectives had kind of deterred a lot of decorators away from that from a heat printing standpoint. And when it came to screen printing, there was just a lot of technical knowledge that was needed to be able to screen print reflective. So now it's just simply cuttable. It's less expensive than other reflectives on the market, so it's perfect for putting on low, more inexpensive blanks like a running tank top or a pair of shorts, and still giving that reflective finish.
Yeah, and it makes it more economical for the customer too, because they like the finish, but sometimes they don't like the price of it. So being able to have this second option for them too is really a benefit to your business if this is something you're going to start incorporating.
Yeah, and this garment is just from Sanmar, just in case. I know we get a lot of questions on some of the garments. They have a lot of nice stuff that has reflective throughout it, so it's a good option for some of your fitness apparel too.
Right, and I'm seeing some comments coming in. Hi, Sean. Hi, Susie. Ruben has a question on whether this is cuttable with a laser. As of right now, we haven't tested that, but of course we're going to continue testing it, and we will definitely let you know as soon as it is tested.
And that's a good thing. Actually, we recently launched a new laser. So Stahls is now also selling a laser cutter. It's the Muse laser, so it's kind of a smaller, small format laser machine. But if you're looking to get into laser cutting, there's a lot of big benefits to having a laser in-house, and that is that it can help to cut out a lot of the weeding. It helps to cut very fine, intricate detail with heat transfer vinyl products. So definitely something else really cool that we launched recently.
Yeah, so just to kind of recap before we move on to some more stuff, if you're just now joining us, we're going over some of the new things that we just launched, and we're going to be launching more come 2018. So we just kind of want to recap everything that we've just added to the Stahls website. So we have SparkleBerry Ink patterns. We went over our silicone, new heat transfer vinyl, so it has that nice rubberized finish, and our Reflective 2. So the next one we're going to be talking about is one that all of us know about. Well, we hope that you do anyway, is our Thermofilm. And it's been around. It's our #1 product. Our customers love it. But we have recently added 2 new colors to it that have been really highly requested.
Yeah, so we recently added Vegas Gold, which is actually a really good match to the Vegas gold that we have in a lot of other products. And I have been at Stahls just over 7 years, and I think I've been asked for this product every day. It feels like every day since I started 7 years ago. So you guys have a nice image of it there, and you can see how that Vegas gold matches up perfectly with the team uniform. So it's huge. We're really excited about being able to offer this and Thermofilm, since it is our #1 selling product for team uniforms because of the abrasion resistance properties to it, and just the fact that it's so incredibly easy to use for decorators.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course we have our metallic silver. This has definitely been highly asked for as well. Of course, being able to add that special effect to this very popular material is going to be huge for our decorators.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of metallics being brought into team uniforms, and actually for some time a lot of decorators were even using reflective because they needed something that was going to withstand abrasion resistance but gave you that kind of metallic foil look. And so now you can get metallic silver in Thermofilm, which is really great for starting to get into some of that team uniforms that already have a lot of those metallic elements like we're seeing in the professional sports.
Right, right. All right, so another product that is new to us is the weeding panel. So you guys are familiar with the weeding table, but we have made a smaller version for you guys that does the same. The only thing that, the biggest difference is that it's smaller and it doesn't have that clamp that actually holds your material in place. But it still heats up. It allows us to weed material very easily so that it just peels away just like butter practically. So I'm weeding fashion film on here, and you can just see how easily this just peels right off of here. And all you have to do whenever you're starting to weed is just leave this on here for just a couple seconds, and then you can start peeling away that excess material, and it'll just start peeling right off. So typically whenever we're weeding this on a cold surface, we're experiencing a lot of breaking already at this point, and with this process, it's just allowing this to peel off in just one piece.
Yeah, so this is CAD Cut fashion film. So basically what we've shared a lot here on the morning show through our larger weeding table is that any hot peel heat transfer material, so fashion film, Thermofilm, glitter flake, any of those hot peel products, 3M reflective, that have that sticky backing, if you heat them from the behind, it actually makes peeling easier, so you don't have a lot of that stop and go breaking, which we know we have a lot of with some of the thin hot peel products like fashion film. So if you heat it, it helps to reduce that. So I know decorators that use their bottom heat press platen. We have a lot of decorators that have purchased the larger easy weeding table and have definitely seen a huge return in their investment just in being able to get back time and weeding. And so for those customers that just wanted something kind of in between those two, like a dedicated space, but weren't ready for the larger weeding table because they can't store it, this was the perfect option. So this is the CAD Cut weeding panel. It runs $69, and then you're able to just, it doesn't have some of the extra added features that you may grow into for the larger weeding table, like the clip in the different settings, but it works perfectly as you just showed to be able to weed a lot faster. So it makes a significant difference with products like fashion film and glitter flake especially, because if you've ever worked with our glitter flake or any glitter heat transfer vinyl, it just can get difficult because there's a lot of breakage that happens. So when you heat it up, to me it makes a significant difference.
Yeah, I agree. And there are a lot of testimonials where we've had customers talk about just the difference that it makes, especially if a lot of your production time goes to weeding. This just cuts it in half, is what a lot of customers have told us. So just keep that in consideration whenever you're getting into all of your orders for 2018.
Yeah, I definitely think once you get this, you probably will never go back to weeding without it, because now that we have even the larger weeding table at our office, if we go to weeding either glitter flake or fashion film, we immediately jump to that table because it just
speeds it up.
It just makes it a totally different experience when it comes to weeding. So also, if you're looking for Christmas gifts this year for your employees that do your weeding, this is a Christmas gift to give them. I'm sure they would be very thankful for it.
Yes.
I think we've seen a couple of questions coming in on Facebook. I saw one about, oh, there it is. Jack asked what software is recommended for creating a t-shirt design. Jack, we always recommend our CADWorks Live software, so it's CADWORX live.com. It is free for Stahls customers to use, great for easily just creating some simple designs. We also, a lot of people in this industry do use CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator with some different design backgrounds for that, but CADWorks is kind of simple. I know you and I both don't have a lot of design background, and we create all of our t-shirt designs in that.
Yeah, and then speaking of the t-shirt that someone asked behind me, I don't know those exact dimensions. I would assume it's no larger than about 10 inches in width. I typically don't exceed 10 inches whenever I'm printing a variety of different shirts. It always depends on the size. But for this particular size, I'm pretty sure it's a ladies small, and I just did 10 inches in width. And then whenever I'm in CADWorks Live, I don't have to size the length of it. If I just put in that width, it'll automatically just formulate all that for me.
Yeah, we see a lot more excitement about the Vegas Gold, so Jamie's excited about that. Ruben, I agree, the heat panel is a hit, so definitely very affordable. And Arthur, just to your question, the heat is not adjustable on the panel, so it's just a one temperature setting, and so it's definitely able to be touched. It's not an incredibly high heat, but you're not able to kind of move it around.
Right, and I know I'm pretty sure whenever we talked about this in our live broadcast, Josh had mentioned that it was 130 degrees. So with the weeding table, the only difference is you can pick between 110, 120, and 130. But this is at that highest setting.
Yep, and it works great for all the products too. Right. So that's a good thing with that temperature. So. Oh gosh, we had a lot of heat transfer vinyl products coming. So if you own a vinyl cutter, there's a lot of things exciting coming down the pipeline, and a lot of things we just recently launched. So you should be able to really take your vinyl cutter and really kick off 2018 pretty strong.
Absolutely. And then with this being another accessory, will really help 2018 with a lot of those high run orders. And then another accessory with heat printers is our bottom platen. So we just recently launched that with Hottronics.
Yeah, so if you tuned into our morning show, oh gosh, I would probably say it's been maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Ben Robinson, who's the general manager with Hottronics, actually came and joined us to share an innovation, and I think it's really huge for 2018 because we saw it in 2016, we saw it in 2017, we'll see it again in 2018. Performance wear and heat-sensitive fabrics are the future. There's no way around it, and so heat printing them, as you know, if you've printed them over the last few years, can sometimes be a challenge because scorch marks, there's always a lot of variables to get into place, and so what Ben had shared is that we recently launched a lower heated platen, and so you just basically take out that lower platen from your current Hottronics machine, drop in this new one that's heated, and you heat it up to a certain temperature on the bottom, which is 300 degrees. Set your temperature on top for 200 degrees, and now we can help to eliminate all those scorch marks because we're not putting that high heat on top of the fabric. Instead, we're heating to the adhesive from underneath. And so by taking that lower temperature on top and the higher temperature on the bottom, you're kind of meeting into the middle at that perfect melting point. And so it helps to make sure you're getting an accurate transfer, but eliminating all those scorch marks. And so if you didn't check into that, we don't have it here at the show today, but you can look at the videos on our Facebook page or on our YouTube for that morning show. I would say it's about 3 episodes ago. You'll see Josh as well as Ben Robinson on the episode sharing and really walking through that innovation from start to finish.
Yeah, and they'll go over a variety of different heat transfer vinyls that it works with. So whenever we do finally launch this, we'll definitely have all those new application instructions so that you guys know exactly what temperature your heat transfer vinyl needs to be and what pressure and everything that goes into getting a durable transfer.
Yeah, and we're looking to launch it at the start of the new year, so if you're looking to get into 2018, that's definitely something I would put on my list of things I want to purchase. We're taking pre-orders now, so we'll share the link after the morning show in the comment section so that you can go ahead and pre-order it so you're ready for 2018 whenever it is ready to ship.
Yeah, so that's going to work for all those 100% polyester garments, all those tri-blends that we're seeing a lot of in our athleisure apparel, so that rayon that likes to scorch a lot, and then anything that incorporates lycra spandex.
Right. We did have a question coming in asking about the heated panel and the size of it, so I just want to check on that real quick because I believe it's 16 by 22. Is the size of that. So I saw that Henrik had asked the size of the heated panel, so we're looking at 16 inches by 22 inches. Macy, don't worry, you're not missing too much. We're launching some new products, so we just recently shared, and you can always watch this back after it's finished, so we shared SparkleBerry Ink, silicone, a great way to weed your heat transfer vinyl a lot faster, some reflective finishes, What else? New thermofilm colors. So a lot of stuff going on at Stahls, a lot of stuff coming for Stahls. So we're excited to be able to share that here, at least so far what we have to share with you guys today.
Right, and John, I'm just going to knock right back here. So whenever you are in high production, a lot of times that bottom heat platen is not going to be available for you to use. So this is really going to help for anybody that just has a lot of high production with heat transfer vinyl, which happens a lot because heat transfer vinyl has a lot of special effect materials that other application technology just doesn't offer. So that's why we're seeing this being a really huge product for anybody that is doing a lot of high volume with their heat transfer vinyl, being able to weed that while someone else is at the press pressing the shirts. So it's just really not going to tie up your machine because this is going to be another option for you to speed up that process.
Yeah, so good point there. So it's definitely a good addition if you want a dedicated space to weed at that's heated, but the heat press works too.
Absolutely.
Ruben also had asked if there's going to be a bottom platen, the heated bottom platen for the Fusion. So the bottom platen today is currently only available for the clam style presses from Hotronix. And so there is definitely going to be a bottom platen for the Fusion coming. It's just not ready yet. So stay tuned for more information on that one. So I think we got all the questions so far. What else do we have that's new coming down the pipeline?
Pre-aligned sim stitch.
This is big. So this is something we haven't shared on the morning show yet, but it's a big game changer. So sim stitch is a product that we sell that's actually a twill material that is heat pressed. So rather than having to sew, this gives you kind of a simulated stitch look. So you're looking at it close up here. You can see it looks just like it's been sewn, but it's just a heat press product. So if you want to offer a sewn twill look with just your heat press, sim stitch is the way to go. Now, in the past, these letters have been individual. So when you ordered NHS Panthers in this block print, they would come in individual letters. You'd have to space them out yourself, align them with some tape or a mask, and then take them over to your heat press and press them. So it was time consuming. In fact, I always ordered them script so that they would come connected and then I wouldn't have to do as much individual layout. Now, with no additional cost or change in the product cost, we're going to mask them for you and send them pre-aligned. So it's a huge time saver. It completely changes the game for this product. And so I think everybody should be looking at how they can use this in their 2018 looks.
Yeah, and even if you are already doing embroidery and you're looking for something to just kind of speed up some production for you, this is going to be huge for you too, because it looks just like it's embroidered, but it's just laser etched twill that you can heat press, and it still gives you that very durable and high-end finish.
Yeah, so it's great. So that is our sim stitch product, and now it's a pre-aligned sim stitch if you're looking for that on the Stahls website. But definitely take a look at that. All you need is a heat press, and you can give some twill finishes.
Yes, and that brings us to our CAD Cut template. So if you guys haven't experienced the CAD Cut templates, we've been adding a bunch of templates and clip art available for you to use that you can pretty much just create artwork with the things that we have provided for you. And we have recently added monograms. So we have frames and different styles of text so you can create monograms.
Yeah, so now you're taking a look actually in the complete CAD Cut template designer. So if you only own a heat press, but you want to get some of these hot high-end finishes like the adhesive and foil, the glitter flake, some of those things that we show you here on the morning show, there are a variety of templates already built in here, a ton of clip art for you to customize them to whatever you want. But the monogram generator for this to me is a huge game changer, because creating monograms like circle monograms has been very difficult in the past. And so we're providing to you 3 categories you saw there, so circle, diamond, and universal. And so I'll take the circle because I think that's probably one of the most popular types of monograms available. And we have created a way for you to easily create custom monograms in a variety of templates and a variety of frames, so you can customize it completely to your customer. So if you have a customer that you're decorating for that maybe just so happens to be a nurse or a doctor or somebody in the medical field, you can now customize a monogram for them. It's as simple as typing in my text. Now keep in mind that I'm typing this exactly as it's reading. Oftentimes for monograms, the last name is actually the largest in the center. So if I'm doing it for, let's say, a Christine Marie Koval, I would go ahead and put CKM because I want to make sure Koval is the last initial in the center there. And then you've got the first and the middle initial. So it's actually going to read first, last, middle when you're typing it in. So that's just something to keep in mind. And if you're taking orders from your customers for these, just make sure they give them to you that way, and make it very clear in your order process that they need to give it to you in that method so you can quickly order them. But once you have yours completely customized, you can size it to whatever you want. Select your material. I'm going to go ahead and do glitter flake here. And then it's actually going to show me all of the color options available, so I can go ahead and click into one that I want. You're going to see the glitter finish, so I know that's going to look exactly how I want it to look for my garment. Add it to my cart, and I can go ahead and order them. Those come pre-cut, pre-weeded, ready to be heat pressed on. All of the designs in the template designer do that, but I think the monogram part's really, really cool.
I do too, and I like that it gives you the option to fill in your artwork with the actual finish, because if you need to get this approved from your customer before you actually go through with the order, they can see what the finish is going to look like, and I think that's really important, because whenever you see something, that's whenever you're really like, oh, I love that and I want that. So being able to give them that option is really going to help.
Yeah, it makes it an easy way to give you those proofs for your customers so they can see it before you go ahead and place the order. And you can order as low as one, so you don't have to order 100 of the same person's monogram as well.
Right. So some more comments are coming in. Hi, Martha from Dallas. And John, thank you so much. That is a great testimonial. Can we just keep that forever? Can you like come back every Monday and just comment that every Monday?
Yeah, we definitely appreciate being able to share videos and being able just to help in any way we can. That's obviously why we do the morning show, why we do the Facebook Live classes, because we're here to help you grow. And so we hope to help you just kind of, I guess, just even grow more in your new heat press adventure. And then we had a question coming in from Macy.
Little skeptical for the 16 by 20 heat press, the heating element going out, purchases through Amazon. We get that one a lot. So there's a lot of people that buy presses through Amazon, and then they have those technical difficulties. They really don't know who to contact because of that, and then they're weary about ever purchasing a heat press again.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to consider when you're investing in a heat press. And obviously, when you're running a business with one, you want to make sure you're getting one that's going to last, because if it doesn't work well, then you may have some issues with durability, and it hurts your credibility as a business, especially if you're just starting. But more importantly, if it goes out and you've got a bunch of orders to complete, you're kind of, just in trouble in that way. And so what I recommend doing is definitely looking at it as an investment. So I know a lot of people see some of the more expensive heat presses and they immediately get scared, but what you really want to do is make an investment in your business, and you can easily break down that cost by how many shirts it'll take to produce. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we've definitely shared them in some blogs on the Stahls TV website, so I'll share that in the comments so you can take a look at how to break down the cost per how many shirts would pay it off. But I would look at really investing in a machine that has a good heating element and a good warranty, because I think those two things are incredibly crucial to running a business. The Hotronix heat presses have a heating element that's interwoven throughout the top plat, and so you're going to get complete even heat throughout the entire heat plat, and so you know that it's going to be good. You don't have to worry about it going out. In fact, we have one of the best warranties on the marketplace for all of our machines, lifetime on the heating element, so that's huge. And 24/7, 365 support. So that means that if it goes out, which is not going to happen with our heating element, but if you have any other issues, maybe something minor on your machine, then you can call our tech support any time of day, any day of the week, and you're going to talk to the person who specifically knows the machine. So you're not calling customer service and getting somebody who's never actually handled the machine. This person has built the machine, so they can tell you exactly how to fix the issue. And so it's a really big benefit when you're running a business. I don't have to ship it back. I don't have to try to see if I can fix it. I've seen some people, I know we have a Facebook group, and I've seen customers in there say, I'm going in, I'm pulling this wire and I'm doing this, and it's like, well, I'll get the fire extinguisher ready in case something happens. But I think there's a huge benefit to being able to have a machine that's manufactured by a brand that's saying, we're going to stand behind it and we're going to stand behind your business. So just look at it more as an investment. Like I said, we'll share that blog post here. And you don't always have to go. I know we use the Fusion all the time in the morning show, which is somewhere around $2,100. But you could even go to our entry-level press at the Max press, which still gives you all those same benefits. So lifetime on the lifetime on the heating element, the warranty, the great shipping, or the great heating element, everything like that. And I think we run smaller units, so 11 by 15, 15 by 15, 16 by 20, and you're looking more around $1,000 for that, even a little less at the smaller units. So some things to consider there for sure. I see Kelly just mentioned that she loves her Fusion. It's so much better than the cheap Amazon one that she started off with. And so I think there's a lot of people you'll find in Macy. If you're not a part of the Facebook group that we do, which is called Heat Press for Profit, I recommend going in there too, because a lot of them have, there's just a ton of advice and a ton of very experienced users that use a lot of different heat presses, so they can share a lot of their insight too. Yeah, you'll definitely learn a lot from that, because I mean, we have people, I mean, it's just very diverse whenever it comes to the industry and people's levels in the industry, whenever they're asking questions about literally the same thing that you're saying right now. And then other customers with the Fusion are like, just make the jump because it's worth it, or just even getting a Hotronics press in general that you'll be happy with. Yeah, so definitely some good information there. And then one last thing we wanted to share that we recently launched that we definitely haven't shown at the morning show is, one thing at Stahls we always try to do is we want to make it easier for you to run your business. And so Transfer Express a while back added blank apparel to their website. And you can order pretty much anything from the Sanmar website, so t-shirts, bags, performance wear. I mean, there's a huge amount of promotional product items, just a ton of stuff, but we didn't have a whole lot of team jerseys available or athletic wear. And so if you order from Transfer Express, you can now order the Augusta sportswear items through there as well. So big game changer. If you're ordering your screen printed numbers, now you can order your jerseys, save on having to go to a different website, having to deal with different customer service. Things will still ship separately because we're not shipping these from our Transfer Express warehouse, but it's one seamless checkout, one easy order system. So cool one-stop shop thing to add there. So yeah, so you can easily go in and add your items to your cart and go ahead and purchase. So you can easily see what's available from Augusta Sportswear under the blank apparel section. Here I'm in the basketball section, but all of the Augusta sportswear apparel is now available from Transfer Express. So and it seems as though Transfer Express is really good about updating this so that you're always seeing what's new and what you can offer your customers. Yeah, definitely. So a lot of things happening at Stahls right now. So we've shared a lot of new products. Hopefully this will give you an idea of where you can start to plan your 2018, because this is the perfect time of year where I always take that weekend between Christmas and New Year's. I think it's a good, super slow time, especially this year, the way the holidays fall, to really take a look at what worked well for you in 2017, what you want to continue, and where you can start to make improvements either in your production processes and the products that you're sharing with your customers, or even just looking for new products. So a lot more will be shared here on the morning show in coming months as well for that. Right. We got one more comment coming in before we head off. I have the auto clamp and it has not been locking down to start the time. Okay, so there's a variety of different reasons that could be happening. One major one is pressure. I've had that happen where it just won't lock in place because the pressure is on overload. So try dialing back your pressure. If it's not that, make sure that your mode is set, because if you leave it on one mode, it just won't close at all. So just making sure you're going back to so that none of your modes are on your screen. If you're having a problem after that, of course, just call Hotronics. They'll be able to help you right away. Yeah, so just call the 800 number and they'll be able to dial in. It's like you mentioned, it's usually a pressure issue or something like that that's caused maybe something to go out of whack. So they'll definitely be able to help you there. I think that's probably it for today. Yeah. All right, so we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us.